Today, we're taking a closer look at a coin that often goes unnoticed, but which collectors recognize as having a fascinating history and the potential to be extremely valuable if you happen to own the right one. That coin is the 1975 Lincoln 1-cent penny without a mint mark. At first glance, the 1975 penny seems ordinary. It's small, copper-colored, and typically shows signs of wear and tear. For most people, it's just a common coin, likely rattling around in a jar, sitting forgotten in a drawer, or handed out as everyday change without much thought. However, as we'll explore, these pennies hold much deeper stories. For a fortunate few, they've even been worth a small fortune. To truly appreciate the 1975 penny, we need to step back and consider the era when it was minted. The mid-1970s in America was a time of significant cultural shifts. Political changes, economic struggles, and debates about the penny itself were underway. Copper prices were climbing, sparking discussions about whether the 1-cent coin should continue to be made mostly from copper. This debate ultimately transformed the penny by the 1980s. Yet in 1975, the Lincoln cent was still made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. So, when you hold a 1975 penny today, you're holding a coin primarily made of copper, which gives it more intrinsic worth than today's pennies that are mostly zinc with only a thin copper coating. The Lincoln cent is one of the most recognizable coins in American history. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it replaced the Indian head cent and was the first U.S. coin to depict a real person instead of a symbolic figure. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln penny has been in circulation for over a century and remains a favorite among collectors. Every year's coin offers a glimpse into history, and the 1975 edition is no exception. When referring to a 1975 penny without a mint mark, we're usually talking about coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint. At that time, Philadelphia pennies did not bear a mint mark. So, if you come across a 1975 penny without a small letter under the date, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a mistake. It simply means it was made in Philadelphia. Even though no mint mark pennies were standard for Philadelphia, factors like condition, rarity of specific varieties, and minting errors can elevate a seemingly ordinary coin's value to extraordinary heights. Collectors often wonder, why is one 1975 penny worth just 1 cent, while another might fetch hundreds, thousands, or more? The answer comes down to 3 key elements: condition, rarity, and demand. First, condition. Coins are graded on a spectrum from poor to mint state perfection. The higher the grade, the crisper the details, and the more visually appealing the coin. For example, a heavily circulated 1975 penny, passed around in daily transactions, usually holds only face value. But a coin in flawless mint state condition, with sharp features of Lincoln, smooth surfaces, and minimal scratches, can be worth significantly more. Collectors are willing to pay premium prices for coins that look nearly fresh from the mint after almost 50 years. Second, rarity plays a crucial role, especially regarding errors and unique varieties. Mistakes can occur during production. Coins may be struck off-center, exhibit double dies, or lack certain details. Such minting errors make coins much rarer and more valuable. For the 1975 penny, collectors seek doubling in the letters or numbers, off-center strikes, or unusual metal compositions. Even minor errors can drastically increase a coin's worth by making it one of a kind among millions of regular coins. Third, demand influences value. Collectors fuel the market, and pennies from the 1970s are popular because they remain affordable, yet have hidden potential. Many who grew up in that decade or inherited collections feel a sentimental attachment, keeping interest alive. Imagine this scenario. You're sorting through a jar of old pennies one evening and spot a 1975 penny with no mint mark. At first, it seems ordinary, but closer inspection reveals it's in nearly perfect condition. The surfaces shine with original red luster, and the details are crisp. You take it to a coin dealer or send it for grading, and it returns with a top rating. Suddenly, that small coin, one most people would overlook, could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Stories like this aren't just fiction, they happen. Collectors have uncovered common pennies from decades ago that turned out to be hidden treasures. When these coins appear at auctions, they can fetch astonishing prices. It's also important to note the survival rate of 1975 pennies. Millions were minted, but few remain in gem condition. Most were tossed into circulation, jostled in pockets, handled at cash registers, and used countless times. Over the years, wear and tear took its toll. That's why finding a high-grade specimen today is so special. It's like uncovering a time capsule preserved against all odds. Additionally, 1975 was a transitional year in American coinage, just before the bicentennial celebration of 1976. While quarters, half dollars, and dollars featured special bicentennial designs, the penny remained unchanged. Still, it holds a firm place in history connected to that patriotic era, adding to the appeal of collecting coins from the mid-1970s. Some collectors seek out full red pennies from this year, coins that still display their original coppery shine instead of fading to brown after decades of exposure. These coins with bright red luster can command higher premiums. So, what should you do if you find a 1975 penny without a mint mark? First, carefully assess its condition by holding it up to the light. Look for any doubling in the letters, numbers, or Lincoln's profile, and evaluate how well it has been preserved. If you suspect it might be valuable, the best course of action is to have it professionally graded by a reputable service. Grading verifies the coin's condition and boosts its credibility in the collector market, making it easier to sell at a fair value. Collectors also strongly recommend never cleaning a coin, since cleaning can damage its surface and significantly reduce its value. Instead, keep it safe in a coin holder or protective case to prevent scratches, air exposure, and moisture damage. Now for the exciting part. While most 1975 pennies are worth only face value, or a few cents to collectors, the rarest specimens, those in top condition with sought-after features, have been known to sell for remarkable sums. This highlights just how unpredictable and captivating coin collecting can be. What looks ordinary to one person might be extraordinary to another. And here's the highlight you've been waiting for. Among the rarest and most pristine 1975 Lincoln pennies with no mint mark, one is sold for a staggering $43,874. Yes, you read that correctly. Tens of thousands of dollars for a single penny. Think about that for a moment. A coin that most people wouldn't give a second glance could actually be a small fortune in disguise. That's the magic of coin collecting. Every coin tells a story. Every date carries history. And every piece of change in your pocket might hold a secret waiting to be uncovered. So next time you come across a 1975 penny without a mint mark, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. You could be holding a treasure worth far more than 1 cent.